But when you come to Christ, your spirit is quickened. And you become one who is in touch with God. You know, much of our wanderings are because we are not in touch with God. You know, we go around expending our physical and emotional energy in a variety of things. And what's the outcome? Big zero. Nothing. Now we can go on like that till doomsday and achieve nothing. Big talk. What's the good of that? Here, what we see in the 4th chapter of Mark is when the word of God is sown, immediately who is activated? So the 15th verse. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. Now, this is regularly happening in most of our places of worship. Now, what happens to all that preaching? Do you see it on Monday morning? Do you see it in action in the factory, in the hospital, in the warehouses, in the dockyards? No. How is that? The Word of God has been quickly taken out of the heart. You know, folks, a man said to me, I had said, now look, be watchful. After the meeting, there will be some kind of attack, and you had better be careful. And he said, yes, my wife and I picked up an argument. And we kept arguing all the way home. And then continued it once we were in the house. What? The Word of God evidently did not penetrate that heart. So, all that they took home to their dinner table was squabbling and arguments. Now, who wants religion like that? It doesn't help anybody. It does not help the children. Let me tell you that. That is why we see grannies and you never see their children or grandchildren. What happened to granny's prayers? No fruit. Satan came and took away the seed right away. If you turn to Isaiah 14th chapter and the 14th verse, you will see one of the earliest activities of the devil. Isaiah 14. Now let's read from 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Look at this. I will ascend. I will exalt my throne. You know, we are very often like Lucifer. We like our own will. Oh, you know, I was one of those stubborn fellows who wanted my own will. That's it. And a lot of harm my will could do. I will be as the highest. You know, today there's a lot of competition. Competition between husband and wife too. Sibling rivalries. Competition between the children. I don't know how it is at your table. But when a chicken is being carved or something, and you're watching what's mother or dad going to give me on my plate, the neck pieces or what? You know, I am really mystified how some of our sports are run these days. I've been a sportsman, an all-rounder. And you know, we would not touch the opponent. Think of tripping him? No. I took a lot of hits, but I never hit another man with my hockey stick. Never. Never thought of it. We were gentlemen. Today I see them pulling the fellow by the shirt, tripping him so that he does not know what hit him, pushing them, and the poor referee with his talk of red cards and yellow cards. If he started giving them out, there wouldn't be anybody on the ground. He would lose all the teams. What competition? Why should I let the fellow go close to our goal? I would rather see him on the ground. A spread eagled. Now, you know, folks, I was amazed to find that in ice hockey, many of those fellows had lost their teeth. What has the stick and the teeth to do with each other? I couldn't understand that. But that's modern sport. And you give out gold medals for knocking the other fellow's teeth out. Ridiculous. You see, it comes from the devil. I'll be as the highest. So, everybody running down everybody. In an office, if a fellow goes on leave, when he comes back, he finds that people have been telling the boss all kinds of things. What rubbish! Can't a man go on leave for a few days? And did his workmates be supportive? I can't understand this. I once said in one of my meetings, there are men who will not pay the dentist for any attention which the dentist gives to the wife. A lady met me after the meeting. This was in the US. She said, my husband told me, okay, you can go and have your teeth attended to, but I won't pay a penny. What rubbish is that? So you liked your wife to be sitting around moaning, whoa, whoa, or keeping you awake? I can't understand that. My wife's bills are not my bills. What kind of heart is that? You know, the devil's there. Now, if you will turn, please, to John 13th chapter, 27. John 13 and verse 27. And after the sop, Satan entered into him, into Judas. You know, the money thing that drives the world today. After the sop, Satan entered into him. You know, when you get gripped by money, oh, you will have endless quarrels. My children had the good fortune, listen carefully, of knowing that there was no money in the house. They never asked me for pocket money. 5 of them. They never asked me. They knew there was no money in the house. We were happy with what little we had. All I wanted to do was to serve the Lord and take care of others. So there was no fighting over money. There was no talk of money. There was not an argument about money. That's not just for 1 day or 2 days. We just completed 50 years of marriage.